The summer sun shone brightly over the vast green fields, and a warm breeze rustled through the tall grass. Birds chirped and the world seemed alive with energy. In the middle of this beautiful landscape, an ant marched tirelessly, carrying a small grain of wheat toward his colony. He moved with determination, knowing that winter would soon arrive and there would be no food to gather. Not far from the hardworking ant, a grasshopper sat lazily on a large leaf, basking in the golden sunlight. He strummed his tiny legs together, creating a soothing melody as he swayed gently to his own music. Life to him was meant for enjoyment. "Why do you work so hard, little ant?" the grasshopper called out with a smirk. "The sun is shining, the air is sweet, and there is plenty of food everywhere. Why not relax and enjoy life?" The ant stopped for a moment, balancing the heavy grain on his back. He looked up at the grasshopper and shook his head. "Summer will not last forever, my friend," he said. "Winter will come and food will be scarce. If I do not gather enough now, my family and I will go hungry." The grasshopper laughed and stretched his long legs. "Oh, you worry too much. Winter is far away. There is plenty of time to gather food. For now, let's enjoy the sunshine and the music." He plucked a blade of grass and twirled it between his fingers, as if to emphasize his carefree attitude. The ant did not argue. He simply nodded and continued his work, making trip after trip, carrying food back to the colony. The grasshopper, on the other hand, continued to play his music, dancing from leaf to leaf and singing joyfully, without a single thought about the future. Days turned into weeks and weeks into months. Slowly, the warm summer days began to fade. The sky turned gray and a chill crept into the air. Autumn leaves fell, swirling in the wind, and soon the first snowflakes drifted down from the sky. Winter had arrived. The once lush green fields were now covered in a blanket of white. The trees stood bare, their branches swaying in the cold wind. The grasshopper, who had spent his days singing and playing, suddenly found himself shivering. His stomach rumbled with hunger. He hopped through the frozen fields, searching for food, but everything was buried under layers of snow. The warmth and abundance of summer were gone, replaced by the harsh reality of winter. Desperate, the grasshopper made his way to the ant's colony. He knocked on the entrance, his body trembling with cold. After a moment, the ant appeared, his tiny antennae twitching in surprise. "Please, dear friend," the grasshopper pleaded. "I have no food and the cold is unbearable. I am starving. Will you share some of your food with me?" The ant looked at the grasshopper with pity, but he also felt a deep sadness. "Grasshopper," he said gently, "all summer long I worked tirelessly while you played. I warned you that winter would come, but you laughed and ignored my words. Now my family and I have only enough food to last us through the season. If I share with you, we may not have enough to survive ourselves." Tears welled up in the grasshopper's eyes. He realized his mistake, but it was too late. "I was foolish," he admitted, lowering his head. "I thought there would always be time. I did not prepare, and now I must suffer the consequences." The ant sighed. He was kind-hearted, and he did not want to see the grasshopper perish. After a moment of thought, he spoke again. "I cannot give you food for free, but I can offer you work. If you help me and my fellow ants with our tasks, we will share what little we have." The grasshopper, though weak, nodded eagerly. "Yes, I will do anything. I have learned my lesson." From that day on, the grasshopper worked alongside the ants. Though he was not as strong or efficient, he did his best to contribute. He cleaned the tunnels, helped move small grains of food, and even entertained the ants with his music in the evenings. When spring finally arrived, the grasshopper emerged from the colony stronger and wiser. He had learned the value of hard work and preparation. No longer did he waste his days in idle play. Instead, he joined the ants in gathering food for the coming seasons, making sure that he would never face another winter unprepared. And so, the grasshopper's days of laziness were over. He became a symbol of change, a reminder that hard work pays off, and those who prepare for the future will never suffer when difficult times come.